I stumbled upon the manuscript hidden in the depths of our shared study, its pages filled with raw anguish that pierced my heart like a dagger. The Day I Lost My True Love. The title read, "A tale of forbidden passion shattered by societal chains," penned by my own husband, Bruno. Little did he know, as I read those words, that the man he mourned was me, the one he was forced to marry in a ceremony neither of us wanted, yet one that bound us in ways he refused to see. The morning light filtered through the curtains of our Brooklyn apartment, but it did nothing to warm the chill that had settled in my chest. Ethan, had always been the quiet one, the architect who designed homes for others while our own felt like a fragile blueprint. Bruno, the celebrated novelist, thrived on drama, his books climbing bestseller lists with stories of star-crossed lovers defying the odds. Our marriage, arranged by our conservative families back in the Midwest, was supposed to be a facade, a way to appease parents who couldn't accept our orientations but saw this union as a respectable compromise. "It's just for show," Bruno had whispered on our wedding night 5 years ago, his eyes distant, as if I were a stranger imposed upon him. But for me, it had become real, a slow-burning fire that he seemed determined to extinguish. As I turned the pages, my mind raced back to our college days at NYU, where we first met. Bruno was the charismatic English major, always surrounded by admirers, his laughter echoing through the dorms. I was the introverted art student, sketching buildings in the corners of cafes, stealing glances at him from afar. Our families, old friends from church circles, discovered our secrets separately. Mine through a hacked email, his through a careless phone left unlocked. The ultimatum came swiftly. Marry each other or face disownment, public shaming, the works. "At least you'll understand each other," my father had said, his voice laced with reluctant mercy. Bruno agreed begrudgingly, but I harbored a secret hope that this forced proximity might kindle something genuine. In the manuscript, Bruno described his true love as a phantom figure, a man with eyes like stormy seas and a touch that ignited forgotten dreams. My breath caught. Those were my eyes, my touch, from stolen moments before the wedding when we'd confessed our fears over late-night coffees. But he twisted it, portraying the loss as inevitable, blaming the marriage for suffocating his soul. "Forced into a cage with a companion who could never replace what was ripped away," he wrote. The words stung, a betrayal sharper than any rejection. Did he really see me as the villain in his narrative? My inner turmoil churned. Anger at his blindness, sorrow for the love I'd nurtured in silence. That evening, as Bruno typed away at his desk, oblivious to my discovery, I confronted the mirror in our bathroom. "Why can't you see me?" I whispered to my reflection, the man who'd built a life around him. Our home was filled with his accolades, book awards on shelves, fan letters in drawers, while my contributions were subtler. The renovated kitchen where I cooked his favorite meals, the quiet support during his writer's blocks. Society praised us as a modern couple, but behind closed doors, the cracks widened. Bruno's family still whispered about proper heirs, pressuring us for adoption or surrogacy, ignoring our reluctance. Mine sent passive-aggressive cards, reminding us of God's plan. These external forces amplified my internal storm. I loved him deeply, yet feared voicing it would shatter the fragile peace. Over dinner, tension simmered. "How's the new book?" I asked, my voice steady despite the knot in my stomach. Bruno smiled faintly. "It's pouring out of me. About lost chances, you know?" His words hung like accusations. I wanted to scream, "That lost chances us," but instead, I nodded, swallowing the bitterness. In my mind, flashbacks assaulted me. Our first kiss, awkward and tentative after the ceremony, when alcohol loosened our guards. It had felt electric to me, a spark of possibility. To him, apparently, just a footnote in his tragedy. Days blurred into nights as I grappled with the manuscript's revelations. Bruno's portrayal painted me as the dutiful spouse, reliable but uninspiring, a role I'd unwittingly embraced to keep him close. He deserves freedom, I thought, tears blurring my vision. But what about my freedom? The freedom to love without reservation? Societal expectations weighed heavy. In a world where gay marriage was legal but not always accepted, our union was both a shield and a prison. Friends envied our perfect life, unaware of the emotional chasm. One afternoon, while Bruno was at a signing, I reread passages that mirrored our arguments. "The cage tightens with every shared breath," he wrote. My heart ached. Did he resent our mornings together, the way I traced patterns on his back during sleepless nights? The conflict tore at me. Confront him and risk everything, or endure in silence? I chose the latter, but the seed of doubt grew, questioning if my love was merely a product of circumstance. As weeks passed, Bruno's mood darkened, his writing sessions extending into dawn. I found myself withdrawing, my designs suffering from distraction. Is this what marriage means? I pondered inwardly. A perpetual compromise? The manuscript became my obsession, a window into his soul that he'd never shared willingly. It fueled my resolve to bridge the gap, yet fear paralyzed me. What if revealing my feelings confirmed his narrative, that I was the chain holding him back? The turning point came during a family gathering in Chicago, where old wounds reopened like fresh scars. Bruno's parents, staunch traditionalists, toasted our enduring partnership, their smiles masking disapproval. My mother pulled me aside, whispering, "You've made us proud by choosing stability over sin." Her words ignited a firestorm within me. Stability? This was survival, not choice. Bruno, meanwhile, laughed off their jabs about grandchildren, but I saw the flicker of pain in his eyes. On the flight home, silence enveloped us, thicker than the clouds below. Back in Brooklyn, I couldn't contain it anymore. "I read your manuscript," I blurted one night as he sipped wine on the couch. His face paled, glass trembling in his hand. "Ethan, that's private," he started. But I cut him off. "Private? It's about us, isn't it? The true love you lost. That's me. Before this marriage twisted everything." My voice cracked, emotions surging like a dam breaking. Bruno stared, denial etching his features. "You don't understand. It was never about you. It was about what could have been without the pressure." The argument escalated, voices rising in the confined space of our living room. "Pressure? You think I wanted this?" I shouted, tears streaming. "I loved you from the start, Bruno. This marriage was my chance to show it. But you've treated me like an obligation." He recoiled, as if slapped. "Loved me? Ethan, we were forced into this. How can love grow from coercion?" His words pierced deeper, questioning the authenticity of my feelings. In my mind, doubts swirled. Was my love real, or a coping mechanism? Society's gaze had shaped us, approving our union on paper while condemning our truths. We slept in separate rooms that night, the distance amplifying my inner monologue. He sees me as the enemy, I thought, replaying his denials. But what if he's right? What if this is all manufactured? Memories flooded. Late-night talks in college, where he'd confided dreams of writing freely, unburdened by expectations. I'd listened, falling harder with each vulnerability shared. Now, those moments felt tainted, rewritten in his narrative as preludes to loss. The next morning, Bruno approached hesitantly. "I didn't mean to hurt you," he murmured. "The story, it's fiction, inspired by us, but exaggerated." But I saw through the lie. The details were too precise, too personal. "Fiction doesn't bleed like this," I replied softly. Our conversation unraveled layers of resentment. His fear of commitment, my insecurity from years of hiding. Societal conflicts intruded. Debates over gay rights in the news, friends' divorces highlighting the fragility of such unions. "We're poster boys for assimilation," Bruno said bitterly. But at what cost? As days turned to weeks, the manuscript haunted our interactions. Bruno revised it obsessively, claiming to soften the edges, but I sensed his reluctance to change the core. My heart wrestled with forgiveness. Did loving him mean accepting his version of us? Inner turmoil peaked during a quiet dinner. "What if we separated?" he suggested tentatively. The question hung, a bombshell in our fragile peace. Panic gripped me. Lose him now, or cling to a hollow shell? I retreated to my studio, sketching furiously to escape the chaos. Why fight for someone who mourns what we have? I questioned myself. Yet, glimpses of affection surfaced. His hand brushing mine, eyes lingering longer. Was it pity, or something deeper? The drama intensified when a publisher called, excited about the book. Bruno hesitated, glancing at me. I can't publish this, he admitted later. Not if it destroys us. Hope flickered, but doubt lingered. Was this concession love, or guilt? External pressures mounted. A viral article on forced marriages in LGBTQ+ communities mirrored our story, sparking online debates. Friends texted concerns, unaware of the irony. You two seem so solid, one said. Inside, I crumbled, weighing loyalty against self-preservation. Am I the fool for believing in us? The emotional weight pressed heavier, each day a battle against resignation. The crisis deepened when Bruno's ex, Jordan, resurfaced. A ghost from his past. The one I'd always suspected lingered in his heart. A message on his phone, glimpsed accidentally. Saw your latest interview. Miss our talks. Coffee? Jealousy surged, mingling with betrayal. Is this the true love? I demanded, confrontation erupting in our kitchen. Bruno sighed, admitting Jordan was the inspiration. A fling before the marriage that ended abruptly due to family interference. But it's over, he insisted. The manuscript was catharsis, not longing. My mind spiraled into abyss. Catharsis at my expense? The revelation amplified societal rifts. How many gay men hid past loves to fit molds? Online forums buzzed with similar stories, fueling my paranoia. We're all actors in someone else's script, I thought bitterly. Bruno's defensiveness only heightened the drama. You think I don't care? This marriage saved me from worse, he yelled. Saved him? The word echoed, reducing me to a safety net. We attended therapy, a reluctant step urged by a mutual friend. The counselor probed, what does love mean to you? Bruno faltered, describing ideals untethered to reality. I poured out my soul. Love is choosing each other daily, despite the chains. Tears flowed, exposing vulnerabilities. Yet, sessions unearthed more pain. Bruno's internalized homophobia from his upbringing. My fear of abandonment rooted in childhood losses. We're products of our environments, the therapist noted, but it offered little solace. At home, intimacy fractured further. Simple touches felt loaded, conversations tiptoed around landmines. Do you regret us? I asked one sleepless night. Bruno paused, eyes glistening. Sometimes, but not you. Ambiguity tortured me. Love him enough to let go? Inner conflicts raged. Society championed perseverance, but at what personal toll? A heated debate with friends over dinner exposed divides. Some praised our resilience, others questioned the ethics of arranged unions in modern America. Bruno buried himself in rewrites, the manuscript evolving into a tale of redemption. I'm changing the ending, he confided. Curiosity warred with resentment. Peeking at drafts, I saw echoes of our therapy talks. Hope stirred, but skepticism prevailed. Words on paper don't mend hearts, I reminded myself. The emotional intensity built, each revelation peeling layers, leaving me raw. When Jordan called again, Bruno ignored it, a small victory. But the call lingered in my thoughts, symbolizing what we'd lost, or never had. Fight or flight, my psyche demanded. Choosing fight, I initiated a date night, recreating our college haunts. Laughter returned tentatively, but underlying tension simmered. I want us to work, Bruno admitted over wine. But I need time. Time? After years of waiting, the manuscript's completion loomed, a deadline amplifying stakes. Bruno shared snippets, vulnerability shining through. The protagonist realizes his loss was illusion, he explained. My heart swelled. Recognition at last? Yet doubt whispered, too little, too late? Societal backlash hypothetical loomed. Publishing could out our struggles, inviting judgment. Are we ready for that scrutiny? Pondered. Emotional crescendos hit during a storm-lashed evening. Power out, we talked by candlelight, confessions flowing. I was scared to love you fully, Bruno admitted. Fear made me blind. Tears mingled with relief, but forgiveness wasn't instant. You've hurt me deeply, I replied. The night marked a shift, yet uncertainty lingered, emotions heavier than before. As publication neared, conflicts externalized. Bruno's agent pushed for the original draft's rawness, calling the revisions soft. Authenticity sells, she argued. Bruno wavered, torn between career and us. If I publish the truth, it exposes everything, he confided. The truth? Our forced marriage, his initial resentment, scandalous fodder for tabloids. I imagined headlines, best-selling author's gay marriage sham. Panic clawed. Is our privacy worth his success? Inner turmoil peaked. I questioned my role, supporter or sacrifice. Love shouldn't demand erasure, I thought. Confronting him, voices clashed. Choose. The book or me? Ultimatum hung heavy. Bruno's eyes flashed hurt. It's not that simple. This story is my voice. His voice over ours? Societal debates raged in my mind. Freedom of expression versus personal betrayal. Online, similar cases sparked controversies. Authors outing partners' secrets. We separated temporarily, me crashing at a friend's. Solitude amplified agony. Without him, who am I? Reflections haunted. Our wedding vows, spoken mechanically, now echoing with irony. For better or worse, worse dominated. Friends divided. Some sided with Bruno's artistic rights, others condemned his insensitivity. Marriage means mutual respect, one said. The split fueled gossip, mirroring broader LGBTQ+ struggles for authentic relationships amid scrutiny. Bruno reached out via text. Miss you. Rethinking everything. Hope battled cynicism. Meeting in a cafe, emotions raw. I love you, Ethan. Not because of the marriage, but despite it. Words I'd craved, yet timing stung. Prove it, I challenged. He shelved the original manuscript, opting for a fictionalized version sans personal details. Relief washed, but scars remained. Can we rebuild? Doubt persisted. Reuniting, intimacy rebuilt slowly. Touches tentative, conversations deeper. Yet, triggers abounded. A family call demanding visits. News of anti-gay legislation. We're pawns in larger games, Bruno mused. My inner voice screamed, fight back. We volunteered at Pride events, channeling pain into advocacy. Empowerment surged, but personal wounds festered. A pivotal argument erupted over adoption pressures. Why not? Bruno asked. To prove we're normal? I retorted. Tensions exposed core differences, his desire for conformity, my push for authenticity. Society wins if we cave, I argued. Tears flowed, admissions pouring. I feared losing you to the world. Vulnerability bonded us, emotions intensifying. As months passed, the revised book released to acclaim, sans controversy. Reviews praised its depth, unaware of real inspirations. Pride mixed with melancholy. Our story hidden, yet influential. We've survived, Bruno whispered. But survival wasn't triumph. Inner reflections deepened. Is love enough against odds? The book's success brought invitations, interviews, panels, thrusting us into spotlights we'd avoided. During a podcast, Bruno fielded questions on inspiration. Personal experiences, he said vaguely. My heart pounded. Would he slip? Post-show, relief mingled with resentment. You almost outed us? I accused back home. For what? Validation. Bruno crumbled. I'm sorry. I never saw how much I hurt you. Apologies flowed, but forgiveness lagged. Emotions at fever pitch. Nights became battlegrounds of the soul. Why did it take a manuscript to wake you? I demanded inwardly, replaying years of unrequited devotion. Bruno's remorse manifested in gestures. Notes of affection, shared dreams. Yet trust fractured. Love rebuilt on ruins. I pondered. Societal mirrors amplified. Friends' breakups. Online trolls debating fake gay marriages. Are we frauds? The question tormented. A family crisis escalated drama. Bruno's father disowned him after a leaked rumor. You chose that life, he spat over phone. Bruno shattered, leaning on me. I need you, he sobbed. Roles reversed. My strength faltered under weight. Am I his anchor or crutch? Inner conflict raged, compassion versus self-protection. We navigated fallout together, bonds strengthening amid chaos. Therapy resumed, unearthing buried truths. The marriage forced us together, but love kept us, the counselor observed. Bruno nodded, eyes on me. You're my true love, Ethan. I was blind. Revelation hit like thunder, tears cascading. Then why mourn? I whispered, fear of admitting it. Confessions healed, but scars lingered, emotions overwhelming. As stability returned, subtle shifts emerged. Mornings filled with genuine warmth, evenings with honest talks. Yet undercurrents of doubt persisted. Can we escape the past? Society's gaze evolved, supportive allies, lingering bigots. Our story, though private, inspired quiet changes, advocating for choice in love. One evening, Bruno burned the original manuscript. No more ghosts, he declared. Symbolic release, yet questions loomed. Had we truly overcome? Emotions peaked in quiet reflection. Love's complexity, society's toll. In the end, our union endured, forged in fire. But was it right to build a life on foundations laid by force? Or should true love always begin with freedom?